Welcome to Spiritually Imperfect, the show where the metaphysical meets the practical. This is your space to explore the mysteries of the universe, embrace spiritual growth, and connect with the energies all around us. No one spiritual journey is perfect, but that's the beauty of it. Hosts Mike and Jen bring their unique blend of perspective, humor, and heartfelt nature to every episode. Whether encouraging, facilitating readings, or diving into exploring mediumship, energy healing, or searching for clarity, Spiritually Imperfect is a place to where discussions of the collective experiences that we all share comes to the surface. Now, here are your hosts of Spiritually Imperfect, Michael Christopher and Jennifer Lee.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spiritually Imperfect. Here we are.
Did you see? Are you hearing feedback?
Nope.
I'm hearing it.
Are you?
So I was just.
How's everybody doing out there tonight? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. As usual, we don't know what's going to happen tonight. Like Jennifer just disappeared, so now I'm by myself. Oh, wait, she's back.
No, I disappeared. I might have to disappear for a minute, though, because all I'm hearing is feedback.
Okay.
So I'm going to come out and then come back in. See
all right. I'll be here. I'm going to talk about you while you're gone.
Okay.
So again, welcome everybody. We have not chosen a topic for discussion tonight, but tonight we're gonna just take a few minutes and we're gonna jump right into readings. So we have cards. We're gonna do card readings, primarily because we can kind of get through them a little quicker and hopefully get to a few more people during the hour that we have. But before we begin, we always want to open it up to you out there to see if you have any questions, curiosities about maybe your own abilities. Maybe you have questions about an experience that you've had that you want to share. When we started this show, our thought was to have a place for people to share, because a lot of people are by themselves, especially when their journey begins, and you don't really have, initially someone to turn to, someone to share experiences, and it's very isolating. So we're hoping, as part of this show is to open up that floor to people, that may have had, again, an experience and want to share, and just ask questions. We may not have all the answers, but, we try. And then there's people also in the chat that, are mediums and psychics and just people that, have had experiences and they've shared. So it's about everybody just coming together and kind of just sharing. Hello, Jamie Fox. Glad to see you here. And Lynette.
There's Lynette.
Elizabeth.
Joni.
Down in Adelaide South. Yeah. South
Australia. This is much better. I don't hear any feedback this time.
Joni. She's asking, why do some people come through in readings and others don't? So I'll answer it in my special way, in my opinion. It's not that they're not coming through. When you sit for a reading, everybody you're connected to that is on the other side is there. I believe that they have an order, on the other side of who's going to step forward first. And I think, again, we just being the messengers, we don't arrange, we don't set it up. That's up to them. So for me personally, whoever makes their presence known to me first, that's who I start communicating with. And it just goes down the line. So it's never a point of somebody not wanting to come through. I think it's a matter of, they know what you need to hear in that moment and they kind of orchestrate that. Now, I will say in my experience that if, just a random example, if you're there because you just want to talk to Mom's going to be there.
Yes.
She knows that's what you need the most. Mom will show up and Mom will make her way through.
I was trying to share this into my group. I haven't seen it come through yet, but I have to approve it. So I wanted to talk to Jess for a minute. She says, I was doing a reading the other night and my hearing went dead in one ear when I gave a bit of info. Thoughts? For me, if that happened to me, because I feel a lot through my body, if that happened to me, my first thought would be that the connection that I had to the person in spirit, that they were having hearing difficulties, and specifically something in, I want to say left ear. I don't know what side it was on, but I want to say left. And specifically in the left side, like it would draw my awareness to that immediately. That's my thoughts on it. I don't know if you have different thoughts, Michael.
I've heard people talk about when spirits close, sometimes the energy will cause your ear to ring. So I've heard, variances of the ear ringing theory, when it comes to spirit and readings. And, sometimes it's just natural occurrences, so I don't think there's ever any hard evidence. So I always go with the theory of, now I should say this because this thought just popped in. If you notice it on a continual basis, then there's probably something definitely related to spirit communication.
With ringing in the ear, is that what you're talking about?
Yep. Elizabeth has a good comment and question. So yes, Elizabeth, that's kind of why I wanted to start off tonight talking about. We kind of touched on this, or I did with Kelly last week or last show, about bringing people together to give people a place to feel safe about talking, about their experiences. And yeah, you're right. If you're just starting this journey, like I said, it can be very isolating, and you don't feel like you fit in because you have nobody to talk to. And if you do, like you said, some people are very standoffish about it. So, welcome. And then your question, can you explain some of the things we can notice or feel if spirit's near? So let me start then. Jen, you can jump in if you,
Okay.
you have.
I was just going to say, I feel like it could be different for everybody. I feel like it is different for everybody. There are some things that are common. Like Michael said, we hear about the ringing in the ear. We hear about chills. We hear about the cobwebbing, which you just kind of feel like, something's there. So those things are very common, but I feel like there are other ways that we can feel spirit too. Like I can feel and know are sometimes interchangeable. Like I can feel and know that spirit is there, but it's one sensation, and it's more of a knowing for me now. But yeah, sometimes I'll get chills. Sometimes it's just even a thought, not necessarily a feeling, but a thought that makes your connection, that lets you know that spirit is trying to get your attention. Spirit is always near, but letting you know that they are trying to get your attention, or that you have made that connection. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, for me, I'll go back to the beginning. Now, the first class I took, and I got to say, I'll just say this. There's more women in mediumship than there is men, okay? So women tend to feel things more than, well, I'll say me. So
Yeah.
I remember in this class, like all the women were like, oh, I feel this and I feel that. And I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Because I feel absolutely no physical sensations at all. And I slowly learned that that's normal for some people. Like I will experience a physical sensation every now and then, but I don't depend on it. For me, it's more of a knowing and an internal like awareness that somebody just stepped into my space.
Right.
So don't let that throw you like it did me in the beginning. If you don't feel a physical sensation, don't think you're doing something wrong. It's just that's where development classes and learning how you work as an individual is priceless, because then it's like, okay, this is my norms, and you get to feel, become comfortable with that.
That's
So
what I was
hopefully
just going to
that
say.
makes sense.
When you are comfortable with your own energy and you understand it, anything that I would just say, anything that takes your attention, anything that you become aware of that feels outside the norm, just pay attention to that. I'm not saying that would all be spirit, but pay attention to it because it is very different, very, very different for everyone.
Hello, Crystal. Thank you for sharing.
I was going to say hi to Trisha. I see Trisha there.
Yeah,
See
Sarah.
Jeanette.
Hey, Sarah, Jeanette.
Cheyenne. There's Eva.
So thanks for stopping by this evening. I was going to add something else onto that, but it was probably not too important, and it'll come back. It usually does. Hi, Cheyenne. Yeah, Elizabeth, trust. That's my nemesis. I'm always continually battling the trust. It's like, I don't know. Someday.
That's the tough one.
Yep.
That's the hardest one. Hello, Michelle. So I'm over here sketching and I'm drawing the strangest handlebar mustache. I have no idea why, but that's what's just coming out as my pen is moving. Oh, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, maybe we'll just jump right in. So tonight I am breaking in where did I put the cover to this?
Oh, is that your angel cards?
Yeah. So I used to have this as an app on my phone years ago. And I don't think I told you this, Jen, but these were kind of accidentally ordered because, I'm on Amazon buying motorcycle parts. I must have thrown this into my cart at one point and forgot about it. And then I ordered and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm getting some new cards.
There you go.
So here they are. But what I like about these is they're perfect for like this show because they're quick to the point. If you notice, like this outlined with gold, this one here has like a bluish outline, and then these have a purple back or outline. So what that means is the purple ones are primarily angel messages. So such as like, communicate clearly, improving health, helpful people. So it's kind of like a short, succinct, message. The ones that are lined in gold are timing cards. So maybe you ask, okay, am I going to get this job? And, I pull a card and, it comes up within a few weeks or whatever, just an example. And then the last is just simply yes and no kind of answers. So that's kind of what I'm going to go with tonight.
I'm sorry, Eva. So that's something we've talked about before. Right? Everybody is so different and develops so differently. Yeah, I'm sorry that you had that. I'm sorry that you had that experience.
And there are teachers that for whatever reason, ego, that they always try to place themselves above the student, in my outlook. And I'm sure a lot of people share the same outlook is I hope anybody that I teach goes like a million times farther than I ever think of, making it. It's about helping each other. And when people put this, when people put other people down, it's their issue, not yours. So, but yeah, I get it. I never saw a spirit. I still don't see spirit. Every now and then I'll see like a feature. If they want to point out a feature on their face or something that stands out, I'll see that image or likeness, if you will.
Right. Okay. I wanted to talk about this for a minute. Let's go back here. Okay, so I think the question was, I'd have to scroll up to find the actual question. Why can we feel people's energy so strongly sometimes? Like when someone's energy hits you with a ton of bricks. Thank you, Kelly. And see and know things about them. So for me, that is, that's our intuition right there, right? That's your intuition. Telling you something about that person, whether it's good, bad, or it's indifferent. When it hits you that hard, really listen to it, really pay attention to what it's telling you. There's something in there that you need to take away from that interaction with that person, whether it's you don't interact with them anymore, or whether it's more of a on a more of a positive level, that's kind of the okay. But I really, really paid in my experience when that happens to me, it's usually a walk away kind of deal for me. So like I just feel something, I don't know. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm just saying pay attention, be aware of those feelings, understand when you say you're seeing, you are knowing things about them. Pay attention to what it is that you're being shown, to what it is that you know, and that will answer your question about that interaction.
Yeah, because like Jen said, there's a definite reason why you're feeling that, and you're not going to become aware of everything about that person, but there's something there that you're being shown this for a reason. For me, it's a finely tuned, BS meter.
That's what I was saying. For me,
you know,
it's usually a walk away kind of situation, but
yeah, and trust that feeling.
But it's not always.
No. Nope. But that just proves everybody has intuition.
Yes. See you later, Joanne. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, Colleen, it can be uncomfortable.
All right. So what do you think? Start doing some readings?
Are you ready? Yeah, you start.
So,
I dropped the cards.
So to help, these cards here require a question. So the more specific question you have, the better I can tune in quickly. Understand we're going to try to get to as many as we can. So don't feel that you're being left out if you don't get picked. It's just there's just enough time, or so much time, and yada, yada, yada. So again, you have to ask a question. That's the rules for tonight. Can't just be.
Yes, because I have these. I'm going to see. I'm going to let Michael start, and then we'll see where yours goes, and then I'll choose a deck. But I have these crystal ball cards, and they're very good for yes or no questions.
Yeah, and Jen made me buy a deck of those too the other day because she showed me them, and she knows I have an addiction. It's like, hey, look at these. I'm like, dang it. Now I need those.
That's kind of what happened to me, though. Another practitioner showed them to me, like, hey, look at these.
Tanya, if you watch this later, this is all your fault.
Yes.
Tanya. Joni, I know you can think of a question. I know. So Elizabeth, will my finances be sorted? Let's clear the deck real quick and let me go with that. Interesting too, and this is going to seem like a common theme with that, but the question, as soon as I read it, I start shuffling. The first thing that I feel intuitively is if you haven't done it, you need to really get in and reevaluate your budget. I just see a spreadsheet, and I just see you need to maybe go through that a little bit more in detail.
So that's interesting, Michael, because this is the card that I got. What'd you get?
Yes.
Okay. And mine says choose a new direction, which actually goes exactly what Michael was saying. It's not, it's just saying, look at things differently, choose a different way to go about the end goal is what it's saying. Really look and be really discerning in the direction that you take to meet your goal, and you will meet it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right. So if you're just joining in and you would like a reading, you have to ask a question, and it has to be specific, not just open for reading. So you have to have a question. That's the ground rules for today. Hello,
Okay.
Tanya Vitko. How are you?
Here's a question.
Where?
Will I move to another city and I don't know where.
Oh, okay, Eva. Yep.
Will I move to another city in Sweden or abroad in 1 year? So it's actually, let's see.
I don't feel abroad. I'll just say that. I don't feel abroad, at least not right now. Let me just see, though.
So I got the no card.
And I got to choose a new direction.
Oh, interesting.
That
doesn't mean it's never going to happen, but it's kind of a two-part question, right? So we have to ask about the year too.
Let me get a timing card pulled, but I'm just feeling like not in the very near future, but let me just pull, since I have these cards that are specifically for that, like timing. Let's just see what I come up with here. All right, I got to go with this because this is what I got, the perfect timing card, but let me explain what I'm feeling about that. I feel the perfect timing means what I'm feeling anyway is this is the time to really feel into where do you want to go? I don't know if you have something in mind, but I feel like this is the time to plan it. Because I'm feeling like I don't usually do time, but I'm looking out, feeling into like the next 6 months, and I'm not seeing any movement. So I think it's time to really plan, like where do you want to go, and don't just jump into it.
I want to talk to Michelle for a minute, except I'm not going to draw a card because the answer is yes if you want to be. What are you waiting for? That's what I want to ask you. You have to start. You have to get started. And professional medium, it's a broad, is there such a thing, Michael? Like we're always developing. I mean, yes, we are professional, but
if you go by the sense of what professional means is you're
right.
accepting money for reading. So
Right.
whether that means full-time, part-time, like for me, I'm always wondering, will this lead to maybe finally after 4 times quitting my job? Will this eventually be what I'll do full-time? So Michelle, I'm going to just tell you what I'm feeling. I feel that you've put time into your development already. And this is just what I'm feeling when I tune into you. It's like, it's that jumping point. I don't know if you're putting yourself out there because you think I'm not ready yet, maybe a little bit more development. No. If you're already doing readings for people and you can hold a connection, it's time. You need to start doing it if this is what you desire to do. Don't, I see a lot of people that just stay in classes and they think their mindset is, well, maybe one more class and I'll be ready. This is my experience. I never feel ready. You just have to do it. And it's scary, but if this is something you really want, you just got to do it. I feel you're ready.
I did draw a card while you're talking about that, just really quick. It's hard to see. It says manifesting dreams on it, though. Michael, how come yours? It's my light.
I just angle it a bit, but look at that. Take action.
His says take action. Mine says manifesting dreams.
You're not blocked, Michelle. I'm gonna go tough love on you.
No.
I do not believe in this theory of being blocked. It's not blocked. You're not blocked. If you put that in your mind, you may fail to communicate, but you're not blocked. I feel you just need to make the decision. I feel that sometimes when spirit may put us in like a timeout, if you will, it's to like do some self-reflection. But again, I feel you're ready.
I agree with that.
Does this run in your family? Because I'm seeing like a lineage of people in your family that have abilities. I don't know if your grandmother was a psychic medium. I don't know if you knew your grandmother or not, but I just was told to talk about like grandma on mom's side. Okay.
She said, yes, it does. Yes.
So it's scary. It's scary. But I feel like psychic intuitive is like, I feel that's very strong around you. I'll just say that. Like if one stands out, not that you're not capable of other modalities, but I just feel like the intuition, psychic side, if you will, that stands out to me like as your, I don't know, primary right now, if that makes sense.
Okay, there's a question here I want to answer too. Will I be able to get a vehicle this year? So I feel, without pulling a card, I feel a yes with that, but I also feel, I want to say, it might not be exactly what you have in mind. I just want to say, like, to maybe broaden broaden what you're looking for a little bit. Be open to different possibilities. I guess that's the way I want to say it. Be open to possibility. I do feel a yes with that.
Hello, Jeremiah. Hi, Nancy. Hello, Tina Godin. Is there time? I'd like a reading on my spiritual path. Tina, we know what your path is. You know what your path is.
You're welcome.
Tina, I think you're like me, is we have this career thing that's going on right now. Because we're stuck in this material world.
Right. I think we all battle that a little bit. I do too.
My cards just went flying everywhere.
Okay. Christina, here's a question. Was my choice to buy a house a good idea? So here's the thing. I could answer that yes or no, but the choice has already been made, right? It's already been made. So now you have other choices to make from here, right? You kind of get to create if it was a good idea or not. You kind of get to choose that now. I hope that makes sense. If you're talking about a good, I'm just going to leave that there because I could go kind of.
Yeah, it's just
that there. I mean, the choice has been made. So, but I do want to just add something really quick. I do feel that it's going to be good for you. I do feel like it's a choice that is going to have a positive outcome.
Michael, absolutely. No, that is way above my pay grade.
What's that?
Michael's in. Do you have any feelings about what the future of society looks like the financial system? That would make my mind go cross-eyed. Sorry. That's way too deep for me. In my world, it's great because I live in my own little happy bubble.
Hello, Kim. It's my son-in-law. Kaylee. Let's go back to Kaylee for a minute.
I was shuffling a card on Kaylee.
Okay.
So I know Kaylee.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well,
Yes.
let's go to Kaylee.
She used to work in my doctor's office. Kaylee, is your husband considered a commission? Because for some reason, as I'm shuffling on that, I keep feeling like commission in the back of my mind. So is he contemplating the opposite route? But let me just. So I know this is not the card you're going to want to see, but this is the card came up. So let me just feel into this. What I feel like when I was shuffling, besides the commission, is like there's still development he needs within the grade he's in right now. That's what comes with that. He would like to commission, but he needs to finish his degree first. So maybe that's the priority then. He's up for Master Sergeant. Yeah. Again, that's just what I felt like. No, but it's just the timing, and I feel he needs to gain more experience in the current rank. That's what comes up with that. But I don't know. I just feel this commission around him, and he's young. So tell him to get on it. Get that college done. Quit procrastinating.
Okay, so I drew a card for that too. And it says you're going in the right direction. So it just really goes kind of with what Michael said. It's going in the right direction. It may not land this year, but he is going in the right direction for it.
Yep.
I saw a question up here. I wanted to answer. It was Crystal. Will my main manifestation come in when I choose to be ready for it? How can it not? Absolutely 100%. If you choose to be ready for it and you work for it as well, how can it not? The thing is that we have to remember when it comes to manifesting is we can't just say, okay, I'm ready. We have to put action towards that as well. So it is being ready for it. It's choosing to be ready for it, and it's choosing to take the action. And then, like I said, how can it not? How can it not? What say you, Michael?
I'm going on to the next one. So you got Crystal. I know Crystal too. So but I don't have anything really to add. I was listening, but yeah, I think everything's with timing. And again, on the human level, we have a problem comprehending when things happen or don't happen. I believe things happen when they're supposed to. One of the most asked questions is relationship questions, right? Will I be alone forever? My feeling on this, it's not just my mind, given Michael's answer, but the feeling I have on that is when you're by yourself, there's a reason for that. And that's where you have to dig in deep. It could be that you need to learn to be okay by yourself before you bring somebody else in. Because if you're a mess, you bring somebody else in, usually in those situations, you'll see a pattern where we're in a relationship, now we break up. Here comes another one, they break up. That's usually because the person needs to work on themselves and they need to get their stuff straight. And again, be comfortable with being by themselves. And sometimes that's hard to swallow, but that's the feeling I get. Like,
you're welcome, Crystal. So, did you have a question you wanted to answer, Michael? I'm looking at one, if not.
No, I don't remember. Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. So Angela asked, does my 3-year-old granddaughter have spiritual gifts? If so, how can we guide her? So the question is, absolutely, she has spiritual gifts. We all do. And the younger the children are, the more they are still open to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know any different. So they just see as they feel, they say as they see and they feel and they know. So in guiding her, so there's a lot of things. I would say listen, and I would say, age appropriate. We don't have to really get too crazy with them when they're at that age, but listen, be aware, and believe. I can remember just being told about my imagination my entire life, right? This huge imagination. So just have the age appropriate conversations. If they bring up that they see somebody, just have the conversation. Oh yeah? What did they say? Right? Just have a little conversation, age appropriate again. And I think that's the best way that we guide the young ones is we're just there. We listen. We don't discount what they're saying. That's my feeling on it.
And from what I understand too, I mean, we've all been through it, right? We've all been little.
Yes.
Kids now, in that age range up to 7, this is part of their, like Jennifer said, they haven't been told this doesn't exist. And don't be surprised when it starts to just go off again, like shuts down because now your kid is trying to integrate into school and be normal. Right. It's going to happen. It's going to shut down. Some kids can't. And it's just part of their nature. But that's where I think if you enter into a situation like that where, it's overwhelming for the child, then I think it's time to seek help from, a medium to like help them understand what they're dealing with, if that makes sense. But there's a terrific show that's probably still on YouTube. It's My Psychic Kid. And it just highlights these cases where these kids have these abilities and they don't know what to do with them. And these are the teenage years where everything else is already a mess. But it just gives you an idea of, how to deal with it. I could go into this for hours, but hopefully you get the gist.
Kids are fun though, especially when they're like, I did some cards with a little gal. She was 5. Do you remember that, Michael?
I was going to talk about her right before
it was
or after.
Crazy.
Yeah.
it was so crazy how good she was. But she was just going with the, she is very, very open, and yeah, it was beautiful.
I'm sorry, but I
what-
don't do medical type questions, so I apologize for that. But there's just this thing for me that's like an ethical thing. I just won't touch medical.
I
because
do
we are
want to,
definitely
I
not
want to
always
touch
right.
on that for a minute, not medically, but I just want to say, honey, there's nothing wrong with your body. I don't know if you'll be able to have a baby naturally, but there's nothing wrong with your body. I just feel like I need to say that to you. Okay. Tia, I had a big falling out with a family member. Should I stay no contact? I feel like you should stay no contact. I'm not saying I don't feel like that has to be forever, but I definitely feel like it should be no contact until you're no longer asking the question, honestly. Until you know. Yes.
But again, what's your feelings about it?
Yes.
I know you're looking for validation, so I understand that. But again, you already know the answer, right? But I understand wanting the validation. Yeah, I just feel it's like a cooling off time. Let it go for now and
Yep.
just let it be.
Yeah, and it does, like I said, doesn't have to be forever. I actually feel like whatever this situation is, if I feel like it's gonna kind of naturally come together at some point down the line. Like it's gonna kind of work on repairing itself along the way. But I feel like it's gonna be a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Resounding yes. Yep. Let's see.
It is sad. It is. And it's always hard. It's always hard to enforce those boundaries that we set, but you know, it's going to be worth it. There's
so Bonnie,
you have to do
I
it.
pulled a card for Bonnie too. Should her and her husband move into her father-in-law's house? So I felt no before I even pulled the card.
So did I.
But again, it's up to you. Your free will. But I just feel it's like oil and water trying to mix. So I don't know if that's the situation, but that's what I'm feeling.
Let me pull a card for that too. Should I move? Let's see what we got here, Michael. I'm having a hard time shuffling cards. I did something
Why?
weird to my hand and I can't hold it properly.
What caused that?
I don't know.
Was it those?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Those haunted tarot cards, possibly?
Stop. Oh, interesting. So I got the no cards.
All right, time to
Straight
break
up
out the big guns. The big guns are coming out.
Uh-oh.
I don't even know the question.
Should we move into my father-in-law's house?
That's when I just answered. I said no.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I didn't say it. Spirit said no. So let me clarify that.
Here's one
She
for you.
agrees with that. So good. So I bet you already felt that, didn't you, Bonnie? Again, I know you're looking for validation. We do
Yes.
too. I'm always looking for validation.
Okay, Sherry, will my mom and I work things out?
I feel yes, but I feel
do
it's
I.
like you both got to like park the pride, because I feel it's like two stubborn people doing this, which I know is most situations. But I feel it's like each of you need to back off a little bit with the not ego, but the pride. So I just feel it's like stubbornness trying to come together. And I think it's going to take one of you to be the air quotes bigger person and just, realize that we don't have a lot of time on this planet, at least this time around.
Betty, do you have a question other than just a like a blanket guidance? Do you have a question? I'm having... Ooh, let's talk about this.
What are we talking about?
Jeremiah. Having mixed feelings about a decision my sibling has made and wondered if my loved ones above are having the same. No, they're not. They, without even having the connection to them, I can tell you that they are not. They are aware. They will always be aware. But the decisions that we make here on the earth plane, it doesn't affect them one way or another. They're just observing without feeling that. That's a human emotion that we assign to spirit. They're just watching. They're watching our own journeys play out, and they're supporting and they're guiding. But they don't have mixed feelings about decisions that are made here on earth, if that makes sense.
They're just observers. That's it. That's my opinion too. A lot of people ask, and a common thing is like, am I disappointing my parents in spirit? Do they approve? It's like they are neutral. You're here to learn these lessons for yourself. They're not in that human again right now. So they are neutral. It's like when you watch a soap opera, do you really care what the outcome is of the characters? I know sometimes. Some people do. Most people don't care. They're like, "Ooh, watch. He knows he shouldn't do that, but watch, he's going to do it anyway." Oh, there it is.
Okay, I don't watch soap operas, but yes, there are some series where I cry if it goes wrong with the so. Let's see. My husband.
Tiff. How you doing, Tiff?
Tiff. Let's go back there.
One, it's never too late to start something new. I'll say that. That's just a human. Intuitively, I'm just feeling like it's a positive thing, and I think
yes,
I feel it's something you should pursue. But what I am feeling is like don't rush it. And what I mean by that is, you have responsibility as a parent, so it may not happen as quickly as you would like. I would just say pace yourself, but if it's something you feel deep down inside that you should pursue, then by all means.
The last sentence, I don't know if I should take time to breathe again and be healthy. Absolutely, you should take time to do that. Yes, take time to do that. Like Michael was saying, it's not something that you have to rush into. But I do feel like something for yourself, like you could do something for yourself. And if that's something you want to go for it. But again, take your time, pace yourself. You have a lot on your plate. So don't burn yourself out doing it.
And here's the card I pulled for you, Tiff. So forgiveness. And I'm just going to feel into this because I already feel something about this, but I feel it's like almost like you got to make amends with something in your past. I feel like you need to give yourself a break. And this is arbitrary, but it just feels like on many levels you need to go back and you need to forgive. You need to forgive yourself. I feel that you're living in that regret. And I think it comes into play with the last sentence in that question. I think you need to do some healing first and release some of this stuff from your past before you do move forward, or you're just going to continue to take that baggage with you, if that makes sense. And I know you, Tiff. I've done a couple readings for you, but I feel this has to do with family and making like forgiveness with family situations. And forgiveness doesn't mean you're letting people off the hook for maybe some things they did or said. It's more to let you release yourself from those situations for good and put it to rest to keep you from going back, if that makes sense.
Okay. My grandson is struggling with alcohol and just went through treatment by court order. He is 17. He's also planning on dropping out of school next month when he turns 18. Is he going to be all right?
For me, that's too future. I just feel into what now. I just feel it's a life lesson that unfortunately I think he needs to make because he needs to learn about responsibility. I feel like if too many people are continuing to like help him or either enable make choices for him, he's not going to learn anything from that. So I think this feels like a really severe lesson in tough love. And if that's his choice, then that's his choice. If he has his mind made up, unfortunately, there's not much anybody can do about it. And it's a lesson also for you that there's sometimes, unfortunately, that you just got to cut that cord and it's going to be what it's going to be. You know, and the question of is it going to be all right? Well, that can mean many different things. In which ways is it going to be all right? And I know that's rhetorical, and I know the ultimate what you're thinking, but unfortunately, I feel it's just you need to let go.
Kim, is his mother in spirit? I just need to ask you that really quick. Your daughter?
You're
His
welcome,
mother?
Tiff.
Yes? Okay. Give me just a second. She's a Spitfire because you want to know what? She says I gotta say it just like I'm hearing it. It's a little bit just like what Michael said about the tough love. She says she would kick his ass. Like that's exactly how I'm hearing it. Exactly. Can you resonate with that from her? Like she's okay, so past when he was 11. Okay, she's tough. Hang on, I want to wait for Kim for just a second. She definitely say that. That's exactly how I hear her coming across, and she's kind of laughing. There's also a thank you to you for taking care of the kids. She says that you're feeling. Well, I don't want to tell you how you're feeling, but I just want to say that she says thank you. She understands it's taken a lot. Thank you for taking that on. I'm hearing that. She also wants you to know that she is around. She is guiding him. She is supporting him. She is loving him from the other side. And just as Michael was saying, you cannot make the decisions for him. It's something that he's going to have to learn on his own. She also leaves me with the impression of a sunflower, if you understand that with her. And then I'm just going to leave that with you, Kim, with her love, so that we can get to some other questions. But she just came right in and just there's a big thank you from her. And again, it's a sunflower that she leaves.
I just feel one thing, and I want to talk about it real quick, Kim. It has to deal with his dealing with the death of his mom.
Yes.
I don't feel that he is fully healed from that situation. I feel like he's holding on to resentment for her leaving. I don't know. That's just what I'm feeling. Like this is going to be natural, especially for a boy. They're not going to talk about what they're feeling. But I feel like he's holding on to these feelings of resentment that she left. Why, still trying to understand it, if you will.
Yeah, I won't talk about it.
Yeah. I'm sure you've thought about therapy, but
oh, Tina, good for you. Bless you for doing that. Yeah, I feel, Kim, I do want to tell you this again, like we're looking into the future. I'm going psychic now, by the way. It is a long way into the future. I feel like it's going to be a rough road. He has a lot of work to do. He has a lot of healing that he needs to do, and he's going to have to make that choice at some point. I want to say, there's alternative to therapy. There's alternatives to just sitting down and talking with somebody. If he has a hard time, I get it. A lot of people have a really hard time with therapy, but check into like alternative therapies. That can be something like, I don't know why rock climbing is coming to me. But I see like a rock gym. It can be just starting something, something like that, just to move that energy. I do feel like eventually, yes, he's going to be okay. He's going to come to terms with this. Is it going to affect him his entire life? Of course it is. Is it going to change, you know, has it changed him? Yes, it has. But can he heal? Absolutely, he can. Again, he has to make that choice. And just know, I know that you're supporting him. There you go. A rage room would be awesome. And also know that he's supported, loved, and guided, as are you, from the other side, specifically your daughter.
I also feel like this is coming to mind too, is maybe finding a group of children around his age that have gone through the same thing, like a support group for those kids. Maybe he'll talk to other kids that are going through this too. Because, kids are not going to open up to adults.
No.
He may feel more comfortable talking about people that, his own age that have gone through this themselves.
So interesting, because Tina says, Kim, does he like art? They have art therapy. What have I been doing lately, Michael?
You've been doing color by numbers.
No, that's not. I have been drawing that. It is a form of art therapy, and it's wonderful. There's no speaking. You don't have to speak. You just draw. There's rules and stuff to it, but you just draw. So yeah, there's all different types of therapy.
Hi, Connie.
You're very welcome, Kim.
It's like my medical team is here. Connie's a nurse in my doctor's office. Hey, Connie, actually, I'll message you tomorrow. I got a thing going on. I took my year break. Oh my God. Connie's great. She lets me bother her whenever I got issues. I always have issues.
You know what, Michael? I just noticed the time. We have 4
minutes.
minutes.
Oh my goodness. We got 4 minutes.
We have 4 minutes.
I don't think we're going to stick around after this one to do the reading that we do. We'll pick that up again next week. Oh yeah, by the way, this is weekly now. Just remember that. This is weekly. Yes. Jen, this is weekly.
I know. I'll remember. I remembered last week. I see. I was a week ahead of the game.
Last week we weren't on.
I know. I was a week ahead. That's what I was saying.
But yeah, so we will pick this up. How about we pull a card?
Collective? Yeah. Let's see what
you do have. One and I'll do one. I have my other cards too.
Bigger deck.
No, we got to keep it kind of PG rated on the spiritual network because it goes to YouTube, and YouTube's kind of funny with that thing.
Are they? Because
they can.
But I didn't know.
Yeah, I try to, because they can tag you with a parental rating and all that.
We'll have to hop on one night, just on our pages or something, and do
cuss like sailors and drink beer.
Ew.
Invite the crowd to drink with us. And we'll do some readings. That's always a good idea. All right, so you go first.
You're welcome, Angela. Okay, let me see. I'm trying. I'm having a hard time holding the card.
Oh, Kelly's saying YouTube is safe for swears with the flags. Yeah, but I'm trying to behave.
Okay. So the card that I got is, I wish you could see the pictures because it's really cool, but it's sharing of yourself. It's this girl riding a zebra. Well, there's a lot of mystical things, but you can't see it. But when I feel into that card, it really is, it's sharing of yourself. It's it's speaking your truth. It's letting your thoughts, your gifts, your abilities, your talents, whatever they are, it's time to share them. It's time to bring them out. It's time to put the fear and the doubt away, whatever they are. Maybe it's art, maybe it's music, maybe it's mediumship. Maybe it's wanting to be, it's nursing, whatever it is. It's time to start sharing of yourself. It's time to let people in. It's time to let people know who you are and quit hiding. So that's the card I have. What do you have, Michael?
So I have obstacles and challenges. And I think it fits for a lot of the questions that were asked today.
Yes.
Is, you never really know how far you can go until you push yourself. I mean, everybody goes through garbage in their life, right? Nobody's any more special or different in that way. We've all had our share of challenges and obstacles. And I mean, I'm not going to beat my health thing, but that was a very important turning point in my life because it really made me look at my life. And I mean, honestly, when I first found out, I didn't want to live. I thought dying was the easier way out. And I don't know, it just something in me just said no, and just that, that part of my life, it taught me what I'm really capable of and what your mind is capable of. And, this is a part of our journey here. We're going to eventually run into obstacles. I mean,
That's
everybody
part
does.
of the journey, though. It's
Yeah.
designed that way.
Yep. And it's testing your willpower. It's like, is this going to make you quit? It's the same thing with me in mediumship. I've wanted to quit so many times, but then it's like something keeps pushing me forward. Why? Because it helps others. And that's more important. So again, it's like, you're going to face them, but it's your choice. Do you want to give up or do you want to keep pushing forward? And there's a lesson in that. But I think it teaches you that you're more resilient and you're more capable than you give yourself credit for.
Absolutely.
So that's that. Like Forrest Gump says, that's all I got to say about that.
And we'll be back next Friday. Same time,
Yes.
same place, right?
We can be other places.
We can, but that's another topic for another show.
Ooh. All right, we'll find out next week if we're in a different place. So thank you everybody for joining us. Have a great evening.
Good night.
We'll see you soon.